good evening and welcome all musical cunts. Today I want to talk about, well, I don't want to discuss the Beatles album covers because we all know that the Beatles have done some iconic covers. This is about the solo Beatle careers and the lack of imagination and the absolute bullshit covers that we're dealing with. Yeah, some of the solo album covers have been quite good, but the majority of them are pretty fucking woolworths, and we're going to go through that tonight. But let's have a look at what these solo Beatles album covers were lacking.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
I hate this album. Hate.
Well, hella, even after all these years.
Okay, so at number 12, the compilation album, so it shouldn't really be here, the John Lennon collection from 1982. Now, what I hate about this album, in fact, my mum pointed it out to me when I bought the album. She said, "Doesn't John look horrible there?" And I think this is what John actually looked like before he died. You don't see a lot of photos because it was what his actual physical appearance was about the time of Double Fantasy. It's telling that only radio interviews were done prior to this event. But he didn't look like John Lennon anymore. His face looks ravaged by drugs. His nostrils are all sunken. His eyes is like piercing and evil. It's not the John Lennon that we all used to love. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's just a sad looking album cover and pretty horrible as well.
It's a 10 out of 10.
Oh, this one makes me want to vomit. I mean, this shouldn't even be here really because it's not a proper album. It's just a pile of bullshit that was released because they had Apple, so they could fuck around and release any old shit. And this was any old shit. But the cover itself is, well, it's supposedly after she'd had a miscarriage. And look at her, oh, doesn't she look sad? And look at John sitting on the floor, man. The persecuted twosome, oh, isn't it sad? Well, I'll tell you what, the child probably would have been born if they hadn't have been a couple of fucking smackheads. And that's the bottom line to it. Go away and tell someone else about your problems, you fucking idiot.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
Okay, so this is another one that shouldn't really be here because it's a live album, but this is a very professionally, you know, you can tell a bit of money's gone into the design of this album cover, but it's so fucking boring. I've always hated it. And that's all I can say about it. It's shit.
It's all a bit pointless, really.
John Lennon.
Okay, so this one over the years has obviously got away with any sort of criticism, but I'm going to fucking criticise it now. I mean, just for a minute, that John didn't get shot and he'd done about 3 or 4 albums since then, but look at it, it's so fake, it's so indulgent. What have they done? Have they drawn John's hair on there? Because it looks like he's wearing some kind of a cap. I mean, there's some kind of photo trickery going on here. It's a disgusting thing to look at. I don't like it. There you go.
Ma'am, can you give me protection from yourself?
Rack my brain.
What's all this for?
I'm filming.
Filming what?
Go gets a look in here. Most of his album covers are this bad, but some of the Apple ones are quite good. I like them, but afterwards you could tell things, you know, the budget for the album making and the artwork is just like, take a photograph of me outside, mate, and we'll make it an album cover. I mean, it is so tacky and cheap. It's the sort of thing you see advertised in the morning, you know, religious woman sings operatic Christmas tunes or something, you can buy it down Woolworths. And they've got like all these dodgy photos and videos being shown on the advert. Well, it's like that. I mean, this is Ringo though. This is a cheap product, and it's a stupid looking product. And by the way, the album is a pile of shit. No big surprise.
It's a 10 out of 10.
Carpet Day! No!
Okay, so about 1979, and I got my hands on the George Harrison album. Now, this was the first real work I'd got my hands on by George Harrison, so I was quite impressed. And anyway, afterwards I managed to get a couple of other cheapy sort of albums by George, and eventually this one came out, and I thought, great, new product, 1982, we really need new product. I get it home, it was absolutely shit. I mean, it's never changed. It is up there with fucking Press to Play, probably worse than Press to Play. But it doesn't matter so much, because who gives a fuck about George anyway? But it's a disgrace. But forgetting the terrible product and the terrible music on this album, look at it, what a cheap load of shit. I mean, the man couldn't even get a contemporary photograph of himself on the album cover. It looks like it's been designed by a fucking a 16-year-old in 1982. You know, I get sick of all these pathetic little childlike drawings they do as album covers. I mean, that's a cop-out to me. But this is just, I mean, I could knock that up in my computer in 1 minute. It's full. Back to the Egg was quite a good album cover. I quite like that one. McCartney 2, I like that one, even though he's pulling one of his dumb-ass faces. Then Tug of War, I'm not really keen on the colours of that album, and he's pulling another dumb face. But forget that. And I really wanted to put in Pipes of Peace, but unfortunately, Macca's right at the back, as he is on McCartney 1, and so I couldn't use that dumb pose of him. However, I can use this fucking diabolical looking album. I mean, look at it. That film was the biggest pile of shit you've ever seen in your life. And I'll tell all vinyl nerds out there, don't ever watch it. You think, oh, how bad can it be? It's got Paul McCartney's music on it. It is fucking dreadful. There ain't nothing good to say about it. But the album cover, I mean, look at it. Look at it. Oh. Fucking hell. Oh, where's my tape? It's gone. Fucking joke, isn't it?
Carpet Day! No!
Out the blue you came to me.
I haven't got a clue why Yoko's head is in the background. I mean, it just looks like a cutout. It is a cutout. John's a cutout, and the whole thing looks like, well, if I put my granddaughter in front of a computer and said, make something like that, she could do that in a minute. I mean, look at it, it's such a pile of shit. I think it's supposed to look quite evocative as well, but look at it, honestly. It's a shit cover for an annoying album, actually. Oh, look at that bloke. Honestly, if he came down Talbot Street at the weekend, he'd be taking it to an alleyway, he'd have the shit kicked out of him, and he'd be fucked up the arse just to teach him a lesson. I mean, look at him. Oh, it's fucking dreadful, isn't it? Words fail me. Words fail me. He's got a rose in his mouth. George's album covers have never been anything special. I mean, but this, it just basically, it sticks 2 fingers up to fans, and the product inside, it sticks 4 fingers up to fans, because, I mean, there's nothing to it. This album is absolute pits. Why is it at number 3? Just because I fucking hate it. Well, this will horrify many, but think about it. Look at that dreadful grainy picture. It's horrible. He looks horrible in it. Look at, I mean, he just, It's as if he's hiding what he really looks like. And he probably was about this time, because he probably, well, we know he looked like a bag of shit. Anyway, sorry Imagine, you are a great album, but you're not a great album cover.
It's all a bit pointless, really.
I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it for you.
I hate this album. Hate.
And here we are at number 1. I mean, it's number 1 for a reason. Look at it. I mean, it's a rip-off of Double Fantasy. It's like, oh, here's me and my wife, we're the team. Just like John and Yoko were the team. Yeah, that's all part of the bullshit. But, you know, this is also bullshit. But what's it celebrating? What's it saying? Is it saying, oh, Paul and Linda, this is Paul and Linda's album? Or what's Paul doing? Is he touching his dick? It's a horrible album. In every single way. I mean, if the album cover had have been really good, do you think it would have improved people's outlook at the music? Because I don't think so. I think it was just a bland, chuck it out there product. I really do. There was no effort put into it whatsoever. I think McCartney had been guilty of being over cocky after Tug of War, and this was the result. And it really did finish him, I think. It finished him in my point of view. Although I didn't know this till years. This was actually the point where I'd said, no, McCartney, you're finished. And he was. And this album is a great way to die. Look at it. Yeah. Vivian Leigh and Laurence Olivier. My arse.
It's a 10 out of 10.
No.